They poured concrete into my well, yeah, my private, fully permitted, professionally built well, like it was some toxic waste pit threatening their cookie-cutter paradise. And right at the center of this circus was Meredith Sloan, HOA president, with a clipboard and a god complex grinning like she'd just saved the neighborhood from independent thought. She called it a necessary precaution. I call it a declaration of war. And just so you know, I don't lose wars, especially not to weaponized pettiness wrapped in yoga pants and a fake smile. If you've ever gone a few rounds with an HOA that thinks it's the FBI, trust me, you'll want to hear this. But let me back up a second, because if you'd asked me 6 months ago how my little slice of Colorado would turn into a battlefield, I'd have laughed. See, I had just moved into Riverside Heights after selling off my consulting startup. Bought the house cash, 800 grand, no mortgage, because after 8 years stuck in corporate hell, I just wanted peace. I'm a civil engineer by trade, freelance now, specializing in water and drainage for resorts. After so many years building out other people's dreams, I figured it was time to build my own. My first project, the ultimate well. Call it my masterpiece. Picture it crystal clear water, cleaner than the cities, with this blue LED glow after dark, an automated panel tracking every metric you can think of. Granite rim that caught the sunrise, the whole thing designed for efficiency and beauty. Maybe it sounds silly, but for the first time I had something that was actually mine, built by my own hands, every detail dialed in just how I wanted. That's when she showed up. Meredith Sloan. 3 days after I finished the well, she's at my door with a basket of overpriced cookies, looking like she'd stepped off the set of a reality show. "Welcome to the neighborhood," she chirps, all teeth and no warmth. "I'm Meredith, your HOA president. I just had to come see this amazing well everyone's talking about." She was recently divorced from some big deal Denver lawyer, spent her $2.5 million settlement on the priciest house in the community, and seemed to think running the HOA made her queen of Riverside Heights. Back when she was a trophy wife, she ran charity galas and club luncheons. Now she was channeling that need for power into HOA business. She circles the well, eyes narrowing in this way that tells you right off she doesn't really care about water systems, she's clocking competition. "You're an architect," she asks. "Civil engineer," I reply, showing her the real-time water data on my phone. "Designed this myself, state-of-the-art filtration. Cleaner than city water by a mile." I was proud of it, honestly, and for a second she almost seemed impressed. But then her smile got cold. "You know, in Riverside Heights, we really value simplicity, harmony with the community." That set off my internal alarms. I told her, this is sustainable living at its finest, but she wasn't buying it. Harmony with the community. "Mason, we like things to flow smoothly around here," she said, smoothly, like it was a threat. Then she invites me to the next HOA meeting, not an invitation, more of a summons. She walks off, but I catch her glancing back at my well, that same look of, I don't know, envy maybe. All I know is if I could do it over, I'd have started recording every word out of her mouth, because that meeting was where the real games began. Picture this: community center, beige walls, 30 folding chairs. I show up expecting boring talk about trash pickup or yard maintenance, but Meredith's already at the front, thick stack of papers ready for war. "Before we begin, I'm pleased to present our important new community guidelines," she announces, and starts rattling off 15, count 'em, 15 new regulations. The lights, the plants, and yes, the well. Everything I'd built targeted line by line. Each standard was a scalpel aimed straight at my property. I stood up, tried to keep it civil. "Excuse me, but these rules are retroactive. I built everything with proper permits, followed every guideline." I look around hoping for backup, but nobody meets my eye. People staring at their hands, phones, anything but me. Meredith just smiles wider, shark-like. "We have to ensure everything remains appropriate. I'm sure you understand." I told her I was a licensed engineer, had insurance permits, everything done above board. She waved it off. No special treatment for professional backgrounds. "Mason, community comes first." She might as well have said, "You're not special here." And I realized then I wasn't fighting for a well. I was fighting for my right to exist outside her little empire. By the time I got home, there was already a violation notice taped to my door. "Unauthorized electronic decoration, $75 a day fine." My solar panel, if you can believe it. Every day brought a new notice. Towels, tomatoes, trash bins. Nothing was safe. Meanwhile, my neighbors' yards looked like Christmas threw up on them, but somehow only my property was getting hit. I started documenting everything, photos, timestamps, you name it. Even hired a local attorney, but after one call from someone who understands the local landscape, he dropped me cold. Turns out Meredith's reach extended way past this neighborhood. About a month in, things got weird. One night, Mrs. Peterson, the elderly neighbor next door, slipped me a note. She'd overheard Meredith on the phone scheming about environmental concerns and emergency measures for my well. She was looking to have it condemned as a contamination risk. I hit the books, learning every HOA and municipal regulation I could, trying to stay one step ahead. And then I stumbled on the gold mine. See, the city's water contract for Riverside Heights had a little clause buried deep. If there's ever a verified environmental violation, the city can shut off all water service. That's right, one phony contamination report and the whole community goes dry. Meredith wasn't just coming for my well, she was setting up to burn down the whole forest to kill one tree. Cue the main event. I wake up one morning to the sound of heavy trucks outside. 2 concrete mixers and my driveway crew wrapping my well in plastic, taping up danger signs. I run outside. What the hell's going on? Crew chief hands me a clipboard, says they've got orders for emergency remediation. My well's being sealed as a public health threat. I protest. Show my data, but the county official just shrugs, tells me to file an appeal after they're done. I whip out my phone record, everything, as they fill 25 feet of my pride and joy with cement. And just as the last of the concrete is poured, here comes Meredith. Oh, Mason, I'm so sorry about all this. She coos, sounding for all the world like she's dropping off a casserole. Sometimes we have to make sacrifices for the greater good. I wanted to scream, but I kept filming. She slipped through just a flash of that cold calculation. I hope you're not accusing county officials of a conspiracy, Mason. That would sound paranoid, like she wasn't the architect of this whole mess. That night I sat in my office surrounded by violation notices and concrete dust, plotting my next move. Meredith thought she'd broken me. She'd underestimated just how well I understood the systems she was abusing. So I did what engineers do. I built a plan. I set up a little peace talk at my place, invited her over, told her I wanted to put the past behind us, find common ground. She shows up all sundress and expensive wine, thinking she's won. I laid it on thick. You really got me with that environmental thing. How'd you pull it off? She couldn't help herself. Started bragging about her creative solutions. Her friend who wrote the report for $500. Sometimes you have to invest to protect the community. She laughed, raising her glass to herself. I got it all on video and audio from multiple angles. Within 48 hours, I'd sent it unedited metadata and all to the city water department. The response, swift and brutal. Every house in Riverside Heights got a notice water service, suspended pending investigation of fraud and contract violations. Neighbors called me nonstop, panicking, desperate for answers. That emergency HOA meeting was something to see. I played the footage for the entire room, Meredith on tape, explaining how easy it was to manufacture the crisis. People lost it, yelling, demanding her removal. The vote was unanimous. She was outstripped of every ounce of power she'd clung to. Cleanup wasn't easy. I coordinated with the city to get water restored, helped the board draft a formal resolution disavowing Meredith's actions. That night, neighbors who'd ignored me for months came by to apologize, said they'd been scared they'd seen what she'd done, but didn't want to be her next target. Meredith threatened lawsuits, ranted about witch hunts, but nobody listened. The city fined her, the county investigated, and soon enough she had to put her house up for sale. Couldn't show her face at any charity or club. The kicker, I used the settlement money to drill a new well better than before, then made it a shared system. My neighbors joined in, hooked up their own lines. The well became a little gathering spot, kids playing Mrs. Peterson, planting native flowers, people hanging out, finally free to be themselves. The investigation turned up years of Meredith's selective enforcement, intimidation, all of it. Her reputation was toast. Word got around, other HOAs blacklisted her. Her own lawyer ex wouldn't touch her case. Every time she tried to start over somewhere new, that video followed her. And here's the twist, her attempt to force us all into conformity actually brought us together, made the community more independent and innovative. Solar panels, shared gardens, new projects popping up everywhere. Riverside Heights turned into exactly the kind of neighborhood people wanted to move into. Property values up, quality of life even better. Sometimes you deal with a bully by fighting back. Other times you outthink them and build something better in the ruins of their petty little empire. If you've ever had your own run-in with an HOA horror story, let me hear about it in the comments. Tell me what's the wildest thing they've tried to pull on you. Do you think there's ever a way to keep community from turning into control? Or are we all just one bad board member away from concrete in our wells? Hit like, subscribe, and get ready for the next bombshell, because trust me, reality's just getting started.